How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we've got another building and pricing cars I can't afford video. Today we're actually going back to new domestic muscle cars. I know I kind of started out this series by doing the C8 Corvette as well as the new GT500. Now if you guys have been subscribed to my channel, which by the way if you haven't, definitely be sure to subscribe down below. I do pretty much all sorts of different types of automotive videos. But anyways, if you guys have been subscribed to my channel, you guys know that I'm a Mustang guy myself. So I would say I know a decent bit about these Camaros, but I definitely don't really like how the newer Camaros look. I don't know if it's just for like the RSs, but I feel like the front grille looks pretty weird. But still, I mean, the ZR1s are still fantastic cars. So getting right into it, we have to choose the Camaro first, go to build and price, and then I'm definitely going to do a coupe, not going to do a convertible. You can kind of check out all the different trims for the Camaro. You have a turbo 4 as well as a V6, and then obviously the different V8 trims, which is pretty cool. I definitely think that's one thing that the modern Camaro has like better than the Mustang. The Mustang kind of phased out the V6s, now it's just the EcoBoost and the V8s for the newer years. I do know they did have S550 V6s when they first started the S550 body style, but they did eventually phase those out for EcoBoost. So the Camaro right off the bat definitely does have that third, option for buyers, because I guess some people might prefer a turbo inline 4 for better gas mileage, or a V6 because they want a little bit more torque and a little bit more power than a turbo inline 4, but they don't want to pay the insurance of a V8 or, deal with the fuel economy of a V8. So that being said, obviously we are going to pick the ZL1. We're going to pick the manual because I just feel like owning a manual would be a lot more fun, especially with a car like this. And me personally, I just like manuals more in general. So taking a look through the exterior paint options, they do have a lot of different options. I do think that this gray actually looks really cool, as well as the shadow gray, just a little bit darker. That's actually honestly kind of like the color of my Mustang. My Mustang is a 2008 Mustang. It's that alloy factory color, so it's not necessarily black, but it's definitely not like silver or gray either. It's kind of like right around here. But I definitely really like the three premium paint colors that they offer. I think the Crush is pretty cool, this orange color, but I don't know about a Camaro in orange. I really like this shock color, as well as the darker red, like the wild cherry tint coat. I think that looks pretty cool, but I'm just gonna go for the shock just because it's such a like out there color. And again, this is like a made up car, so just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go for that color. Also adding in the center stripe, which is pretty much just like on the roof in the back there. And yeah, I definitely think the black accents of the car overall definitely do contrast that like lime green shock color pretty well. So now moving on to packages, the first package that we're offered is the ZL1 1LE Extreme Track Performance Package. I'm actually going to go ahead and add this just because I feel as though that's kind of the same as the carbon fiber track pack offered in the newer GT500s, where it definitely does add a lot. And even though they're charging $7,500 for it, I feel like it's still a pretty good bang for your buck. And yeah, right off the bat, you can see the big canards in the front now, the big front splitter, as well as the big wing in the back with, I feel like that center stabilizer does look a little bit weird, but everything that they do add on this car all comes from Chevy's research and development, so it's all functional, and it definitely would help you around a track. And if I were to own a car like this, I would 100% be taking it to a track and actually pushing it to its limits. You also have the protection package, which is pretty much just a vehicle cover and floor mats. I guess since it's only $500, I'll include that as well, because I know some car covers can be like $500. So the fact that they're throwing in both of those for $500, it seems pretty good to me. Now this right here, I feel like is an absolute ripoff. Over $300 for black lug nuts and black wheel locks. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, again, I've said this in previous building and pricing cars I can't afford videos, but I feel as though if I'm gonna be buying like one of these high-end vehicles, I'm not going to, number one, be going into an area where my wheels can be stolen or are gonna be stolen, and number two, I feel like it's not gonna be like out of my sight, or I'm not gonna like leave it out on the street overnight or something where that's gonna really be an issue. So yeah, the fact that they're charging $300 for black lug nuts and black wheel locks is pretty ridiculous. And yeah, just to double check, that's really all that comes with that package, so I'm definitely gonna skip that. Not messing with the I'm not gonna mess with the aluminum wheels that are on it right now, because that does come with that track pack that I selected before. I am, however, going to see if I can put on the Meteor tires. So yeah, I was able to select the Meteor tires, which pretty much, it went from 285s by 30s in the front and 305s by 30s in the rear to 305s by 30s in the front and 325s by 30s in the rear. So just a little bit more meat on them. Again, just summer tires, performance tires only, not really all seasons. So it's pretty cool that that does come on a stock vehicle, but we're seeing that a lot nowadays with these performance cars. Not gonna need paddle shift controls because we're getting a manual. Again, they're trying to sell black wheel locks for $95 and black lug nuts for $225, which I find pretty ridiculous, because I am just gonna double check. But yeah, they're not like titanium lug nuts or anything like that. I do know in some scenarios titanium lug nuts can actually be very beneficial, even though they're pretty pricey, because that even though it's a small amount of weight that actually gets reduced from the car, it's actually centrifugal weight, because that mass, like that weight, is actually rotating. So basically, if you shed like 1 pound of centrifugal weight, I don't know the exact ratio, so don't like bash me in the comments, but if you know, definitely let me know down there, because I'm pretty curious. But I'm pretty sure if you like take off 1 pound of centrifugal weight on a vehicle, it equates to like 10 pounds of just like regular weight. And what I mean by regular weight, I mean like a hood, for example. When someone takes a hood, like a piece of the vehicle that's not moving, like that's not rotating as the car moves, and they go from that hood to a carbon fiber hood, yes, they're saving weight, and yes, it is slightly bettering the car's performance. But when you actually take something like a wheel and go from like a regular like alloy wheel to a carbon fiber wheel, or from regular lug nuts to titanium lug nuts, that actually does help the car a little bit better. Again, it all depends upon weight and numbers and specifics according to that specific car, but I did just want to highlight that in certain scenarios, paying a little bit extra for performance like titanium lug nuts could actually be worth it. But in this scenario, paying for over $200 for just black lug nuts, I don't really know the material. They're not saying that they're titanium or anything, so I'm just going to skip it because I don't think it's really worth it. Power sunroof, I'm going to skip as well, because I just feel like that's an added weight that I don't really need. And then pretty much besides that, we just have different fuel door options, which I honestly don't really care about that much, but it does have a lot of different options for car cover colors. So if you want to get a different color for your car cover with this car, they definitely provide that as well, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm not really going to change much in the interior, honestly. A red seatbelt color definitely wouldn't really go with the exterior of the car, so I'm not really going to do much with that. The ZL1 does come with the standard Recaro seats, which are pretty cool. And I mean, besides that, this actually does look pretty cool. So performance data and video recorder. So I'm just going to check that out real quick. So I did just read through this. I feel like $1,300, I definitely think they're ripping you off a little bit, but I feel like that is a pretty awesome feature. You can kind of stop the video right now, look through it, but I just read through that pretty quickly, and I definitely think it could pretty much be worth it, definitely if you're tracking the car, so I'm just going to add that on there for the sake of the video. And for the most part, you just have some extra cargo stuff, so that's pretty much it for that. And I'm just going to briefly scroll through the accessories. Now this is, yeah, again, this is one thing I saw with the Corvette and even the GT500. I feel like so many cars, like so many manufacturers are trying to sell headphones with these new cars. I don't know why. I literally have no idea. I don't know if they have some deal with like a headphone company. But definitely let me know down in the comments below, because like look at that. I mean, obviously you do have battery jump starters, which definitely do make sense, but there's so many different options for Bluetooth headphones. So I mean, I don't know, I feel like that just makes no sense. A little bit extra cargo stuff, cleaning products. I mean, honestly, all this stuff, tools, all that stuff, you can find at either a speed shop or even like a Pep Boys or AutoZone for a lot cheaper, so I'm just gonna skip that. So that pretty much brings us to the summary of this ZL1, and I'm gonna show you guys what kind of like how everything added up. So it started out at a flat $63,000, added like just under $400 for that shock paint, like that yellow green lime paint, $7,500 for that track performance package, another $1,300 in total options selected, which pretty much all that was the performance data and video recorder. So that adds up to just over $7,200 plus a like destination freight charge, which is like a shipping charge, just under $1,000. And of course, the United States, we do have the gas guzzler tax for $1,700. I don't know if that's actually a base $1,700 or it's an actual percentage of the car's value. Definitely let me know down in the comments below, because I'm not entirely sure on US gas guzzler tax laws. But yeah, I mean, this 2021 ZL1 Camaro pretty much comes out right around like $74,000, give or take, depending upon that cash allowance, I guess, that they offer. I really think this car is definitely like a badass car, but you are like paying $75,000 for a Camaro. But it's not just, again, us car enthusiasts understand it's not just a normal Camaro, just like the new GT500 is definitely not a normal Mustang. I believe I watched a video where this group actually put like head to head the new GT500 versus the new ZL1, and I believe either a Hellcat Red Eye or a Corvette ZR1, and they basically brought those three cars to Willow Springs, and they just, you know, kind of recorded a few like hot lap times with them. And I'm pretty sure, and this isn't just me being like biased towards Mustangs, but I'm pretty sure that the GT500 did get the fastest lap time out of all three cars, but it didn't get like the fastest 0 to 60 or like the fastest drag time. But pretty much, I mean, I definitely feel as though Chevy is offering a great car with this new ZL1. Again, it's still pretty much like a $75,000 Camaro, but that's like $25,000 less than what pretty much the new GT500 costs. Because I mean, the new GT500s, if you don't really spec them that much, and if you go back to the building and pricing video that I did on the new GT500, I'll probably leave a link up top in the video right now. I don't think that it actually came out to six figures, but I've seen a lot of the new GT500s when people buy them, especially after dealer fees and all that BS. They're definitely coming out to a decent amount over six figures, which is, again, pretty crazy that people are spending like this much money on a Mustang and on a Camaro. But again, us car enthusiasts, we know that they're not just a Mustang or just a Camaro. So all in all, I feel like, again, this car is awesome. I feel like Chevy definitely has a lot of different options when it comes to building and pricing these cars, and I pretty much experienced that as well when I did a building and pricing video on the C8 Corvette. But that's pretty much just going to wrap up today's video. Definitely be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this new ZL1, and also how you would build and price your ZL1 if you were going to buy a Camaro ZL1. And like always, guys, thank you for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.